Hello everybody, this is Kay, and welcome to my channel, Junking with Gigi. I'm going to start a new project today. I'm going to do an altered book, and this is the book I've chosen for this project. It is approximately 7 3/4 by 9.5 in size. It's got this really nice, rich green color to the cover. It's in pretty good condition. I did look this book up. It's a Laura Ingalls Wilder book, to make sure that it was of no particular value. I always do that when I'm getting ready to deconstruct a book or alter a book or take the pages out, do anything to it in any way, shape, or form. I like to check to make sure it doesn't have any particular value to it. So I did look that up. And I think the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in a few divider pages. So I'm trying to find just the approximate middle of the book here for my first divider page, I'm going to call them. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab my ruler and I'm just going to kind of butt it up against the spine and tear off the first couple of pages, leaving about an inch of the page actually still attached to the spine area. I'm saving all these pages I tear off, by the way, because I'm going to use those. If not in this project, I will eventually use them for other projects. So I have 2 pages here that I tore off approximately an inch from the spine. And I'm just going to glue those together. I picked up this pack of scrapbook paper. It's a retro Christmas kit paper, and I think this is what I want to use. I want to try and use this up in this journal. It's got some really cute designs to the scrapbook papers. I think it's about 8 pages or so of the scrapbook papers, 2 of each, maybe, something like that. And I'll just flip through here and show you these papers real quick. They're double-sided, and those are ornament designs and present designs. Just kind of really cute little Christmas designed papers. And it also has this sheet of really cute little retro die-cut stickers here that I'm sure I'll be using throughout this journal as well. So now I'm just going to kind of look through my papers and pick out a couple that I want to use for my first divider page. I'm going to do 3 dividers all together, one in the middle here, and then another 2, kind of dividing those 2 halves in half. So there'll be 4 sections, and that way whoever ends up purchasing this journal will have like 4 sections if they wanted to divide them up into like categories or something like that for this journal. So I'm just going to kind of measure here and figure out how large I need to make my divider pages. They need to overlap this little spine piece that I left attached by a little bit. And I also want them to maybe just barely kind of poke out the edges of the pages so that it'll be obvious that they're dividers. So I'm going to grab my trimmer here and cut my papers down. I'm not really going to give you any of the measurements I'm using because all books are different sizes, so it's going to depend. If you try to do one of these projects, it's going to depend on the size of your book, and if you even want to do this little divider thing like I'm doing in mine. So I've got my two pieces cut here, and I'm gonna glue them on. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it and do my best to position them correctly here. So here is my first divider done, and I am going to repeat this process 2 more times, dividing those 2 halves in half with dividers. Dividing with dividers. Alright, so I have my 3 dividers in. You can kind of see them. They're poking out just slightly from the other pages so that it's obvious that it's divided up into 4 different sections here. The next step in this process of altering this book is going to be where I start removing pages and determining pockets and stuff like that. I'm going to leave these first few pages of the book intact. I just think that that kind of helps preserve the integrity of the book and the strength of the spine. So I'm just going to start right here and removing pages. As a rule of thumb, excuse me, removing about 6 to 8 pages at a time is what I'm going to do. And what that does is it kind of leaves a space between the pages you're going to use to make your pockets, and it also, makes the book thinner so that as you add stuff back to the book in the way of ephemera and including tags and journal cards and things like that, you have room to kind of re-expand the book. So with my first section of pages torn out, I'm going to take these 2 pages with that grouping of pages that I tore out in between them. That's going to be my first pocket. I'm going to paper clip those together, and I'm not sure what kind of a pocket I'm going to make with that, but I'm going to continue on now with my next section of pages to tear out and determine what kind of pocket to do with this next section. Alright, so these 2 pages are going to make my next pocket. For the next section, I think I'm going to take the next several pages and do like several kind of side pockets. So I'm going to tear off the next few pages just in kind of graduated widths to make this series of side tucks. can see, I tore them and folded the edges over, so I have 3 kind of side pockets there. And I'm going to take the next page and clip it together with these 2. I think since I'm going to have several pockets and tuck several things in here, I need like a heavier back page. So I'm going to end up gluing those 2 pages together. So on to the next section. I'm going to keep the next few pages intact and kind of designate them as writing pages. And I'm going to end up going back and pasting different pages over the top of these to make writing / journaling spaces out of these pages. So I'm just going to write myself a note here, writing pages, just to remind myself that that's why I have those pages kind of clipped together and intact. So I'm continuing on now with tearing out my pages, but as I get close to the end of this first kind of division, I need to determine how many pages to tear out. I need to leave at least 1 in the front and 1 in the back for whatever pocket I decide to put here. So my first whole division is complete. Well, I'm going to go back now, I think, to these first few that I did and go ahead and decide what kind of pocket I'm going to make out of these. So on this first one, I think I'll just do one of these kind of angled top pockets. So I'm just going to fold that over and then fold it in. Rather than tear it off, I'm just going to fold it over, so that'll leave that edge a little bit more reinforced. So that's what I'm going to do on that one. On this one, I think I will do just a large top-loading pocket, and I'm going to take my punch here. Actually, maybe I'll switch this out for my 2-inch circle punch instead. I think that'll make a better, kind of larger notch for the top, just to make it obvious that it's a top-loading pocket here. So on this last couple of pages, just before the divider page, I think I'm going to do something a little bit different here, and I'm going to take, I'm going to get my little cutting board and slip it under these 2 pages, and I'm going to divide this horizontally to make kind of 2 end pockets, and you'll see what I mean as I construct this. I'm gonna make a cut kind of approximately halfway between the top and the bottom of the page out to the end. So I'm going to make some 2 little kind of end loading pockets out of these 2 pages. I'm going to take my punch and just grab the top and make a little notch in each one of these. And that completes our first section in our Altered Book Junk Journal. For the rest of the altering, I think what I'll do is I'll just play some music and kind of speed this up and let you watch as I tear out pages and decide what kind of pockets to make. I think it would be too long of a video if I showed you everything in real time. So I'm going to pause my camera and just speed this up for the rest of the alterations. have to apologize. I am so sorry, but the last two sections I actually did without recording. I had to pause my camera to do something for a few minutes, and then I failed to push the button properly anyway, or I accidentally hit it twice and it didn't record. And so these last two sections, I don't have any filming on, so I'm just going to show you those real quick. This is the third section of this altered book, and what I've done on the first couple pages here is that this is going to be actually kind of three pockets. So this section has a side pocket here, this section has a top pocket here, but I'm going to glue this down to this back page and make another top pocket right in there. So I did that. This next section is just going to be kind of a slanted side tuck. I've got a number of writing pages clipped together again. These two pages are going to be just a corner pocket like that. These next several pockets are going to be several side tucks going in like this, including a really tiny one against the spine here, but that will give this section 1, 2, 3, 4 side pockets. This next one I did kind of an upper tuck, and that was the third section. Fourth section, the first couple pages are a side tuck pocket that I've shortened the second page on too as well. A little grouping of writing pages. This one is going to be kind of a double pocket. It's going to have a large pocket back here and then a smaller front one there. I did a few more writing pages in this back section. I think I have 4 writing pages in each of these little sections that I reserved for writing pages. This, I've got kind of a triple pocket thing going on, and each one of these is also a double pocket. So I used 3 pages here, and this is going to be a pocket, and this is going to be a pocket on the end of each one of these 3 sections. And then I ripped this a little bit down here. I'm going to have to do some repairing as I start my gluing. And then this very last one is just going to be a simple top pocket. And then the last few pages are blank. I'm going to leave them as they are just to preserve the integrity of the book, and also that provides a little more writing space, journaling space. And as you can see, it makes the book quite thin by removing all those pages, but we need that because we're going to be adding to it, tucking things into the pockets, embellishing and whatnot. So I apologize again for not having recorded that section, those last 2 sections of pockets. And I wanted to show you, these are all the pages that I removed while altering this book. So we've got a lot of book pages to work with for this and for other projects. And our altered book is, I'm done pretty much with the altering part. I just have to, my next step is going to be inking. And that's going to be a long process, but because I want to ink the edges of all the pages and pockets and whatnot. And I'm going to have to do this project in more than one video, so it's just going to take too long to do everything and try and get it into one video. It'll be a long video, and I don't know about you, but I don't like to watch hour to hour and a half long videos. So I'm going to stop this one here with the progress we've made so far in this journal, and continue in part 2, and there may even be a part 3. I'm not sure. Just stay tuned for that until next time, where we'll be doing some of the embellishing and gluing of the pockets and etc. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have a blessed day.